So, good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world, and welcome to another interview of the Shield Dude on a Couch. I'm your host, Hector, and tonight I'm joined by two members from the band Doomsday. They're a thrash crossover metal band from the Bay Area, and they're releasing their full-length debut record on March 28th. It is called Never Known Peace. So I have two members from the band here. I have the lead singer Carlos or Charlie,
How's
and
it
I also
going?
like whatever you Carlos or Charlie. And also am joined by Ryan Calaveras. That's a very metal name, and he plays the guitar. So first of all, guys, how's everything over there in California?
Everything's good. Yeah. I heard you're from Puerto Rico.
I'm from Puerto Rico, yeah. Yeah,
Eso es
so
la que
I'm free.
puñeta. Eso es lo que yo quiero escuchar.
Oh, what? Did you turn into Bad Bunny all of a sudden?
I'm from Puerto Rico. Like,
Okay. Okay.
yeah. Eso porque like I don't know. I like want to talk Spanish immediately with you and stuff like that, but like I don't know like what you're trying to do like with this stuff, but
We can
it's really cool like talking to someone
No,
from
but
back
you
home.
you know it's funny because when you talk Spanish, you sounded like a different person.
Dude, I get that all the time. Like it's cool. Like I wanted to do like a little like I wanted to make myself like as like American as possible and then drop the puñeta like out of nowhere.
You're,
Like
you're you're rocking that white guy American accent.
I practiced like a lot, dude. Like I was like moving to the States, I'm originally like classic, like oh like I'm Puerto Rican, but I lived in Florida for a little bit. But like I want like I practiced because I didn't want to be like, you know, oh, this guy's super Latino. Let's discriminate against him. You know, like
No, I know exactly what you mean.
yeah.
But it's cool. But at least you know Spanish because the I don't know, the Claudio Sanchez from Cohit and Cambria has also
Mhm.
Puerto Rican heritage, but he doesn't speak any Spanish at all.
I know, dude. It's
But
crazy. Like
you know your puñetas.
yo sé mi puñeta, mi cabrones. Like I know them all, dude.
Yeah, but when you say it like that, oh my God, now he sounds like Bad Bunny's.
Yeah.
Well, how long have you been over there in California?
Since I was like 18.
Oh
So
wow.
like I'm 31 now. So like over like it's been a minute. Yeah.
Well, it's cool. So if you guys play Puerto Rico, we got a good metal scene, and we got some like cool metal musicians from Puerto Rico playing in bands. Like for example, Josian Horta, who I've had.
Hmm.
He plays drums in Fit for an Autopsy. So yeah,
Okay.
cool. So yeah, so Carlos, yeah, it's good. Two Boricuas bonding. And
Exactly.
Ryan, tell me a little bit about you, man.
Oh man, I'm just a Bay Area native through and through. I've been here my entire life. I love it here. I've been to many different places, and I always just find myself like loving the Bay Area so much. There's just so much to do here. The food's great. The people are awesome. Even nicer friends. Um, but yeah, uh, just a Bay Area dude that likes to play metal and likes to play guitar.
I like how you say that. I'm just a regular Bay Area from Bay Area, nowhere else, possibly.
No,
Please try.
straight up. Like
Like in the movies, like when the aliens, like I'm just a normal human. like, like
nothing to see here.
nothing to see here.
Yeah, plus when Ryan, I'm like, yeah, that's you. He's got the glasses. He's got the look that you're gonna die on the pit when he starts.
Yeah,
So
man.
Ryan, are you the lead guitarist or from the band?
I wouldn't say I'm the lead guitarist because both of us, me and Rob and I, we kind of share duties in shredding, but I do pretty much the majority of the songwriting. Me and Carlos do. I write all the instrumentals, drums, bass, everything. Carlos lays on the vocals, and we just work together really closely to kind of hammer out everything.
You know, it's awesome because since I started this channel, I interviewed, I think, like more than 20 bands from the Bay Area. So, like, there's a lot of talent that out there in the Bay Area. I think I interviewed one like a few weeks ago. But yeah, I listened to the album, and it's a pretty cool crossover, like thrash metal album. And I listened to you have some EPs that you have. I think you have like 3 EPs before this.
Yeah, something like that.
You have like 3 EPs. So tell me a little bit about how you guys got together. I think you all played in different bands, right?
We play in Doomsday and another band we started together. I met Ryan like at a random like band practice for like a straight edge band I was at the time. And like the main guy Joseph, he brought Ryan in randomly in the practice, like, yo, like say what's up to this guy. Like I had no clue who the hell he was. And then like we just get to talking a little bit, and like the topic of Iron Age comes up, and Iron Age is like my favorite like band of all time, like super dope Texan hardcore metal band. And like I was just so astonished because like dude, nobody likes that band, like, or at least I haven't met anyone that likes it. Like we just like talk, and then like it got to the point like, yo, you want to start a band that sounds like Iron Age? And then like it just started from there, and it was just like completely just like random. Like normally like it's like I feel like when down here when you start a band, it's like with people like your homies, you already know them. Like it's like you start like 5 bands with them in like the Bay. But like for me and him, it was just like like a rando, and now he's like my fucking brother. Like crazy how that shit works.
Nice. So yeah. So what about you, Ryan? What's your side of the story?
Yeah, no, we primarily bonded initially over our love for Iron Age. Iron Age is like the best band in the world, and if it wasn't for that band, Doomsday wouldn't be a thing. Period. And I remember him saying, "Hey, let's start a band like Iron Age." And around the time, at least in the Bay Area scene, um, a lot of the bands were primarily just beat down bands. You're like super heavy, um, like a lot of mosh fodder. I mean, nothing wrong with that, but I just wanted to do something a little different. And the call of Iron Age was like perfect for something that Carlos and I can do. And I remember, um, you know, he was like, "All right, we need to find members." And I remember we were at a show. I think it was like a Primal Right show in San Jose. Um, it was one of the hall shows,
Yeah.
print shop shows, yeah. But I remember you just turned around and asked a couple of people, "Hey, do you want to be in this
Oh
band?"
yeah.
They're like,
Yeah.
you literally just like we were standing in a circle, and you just turned around like, "Hey, you trying to be in this band?" And it was Justin from Field of Plains. He's
Yeah,
like, "Yeah,
Justin
yeah,
and
yeah,
Joseph.
I'm down." Justin and Joseph, and we pretty much cranked out, was it 3 songs
3 songs. Yeah.
yeah, 3 songs in a matter of like a couple of weeks, just because just
Yeah.
pure on my end, it was just pure excitement. Like, hell yeah, I want to do this. This is gonna sound sick. And once Charlie laid his vocals down, I was super impressed because it sounds so much like Iron Age, and I was like, holy shit, but better.
Yeah, I've never listened to that band, so now I gotta go and listen to them.
Oh yeah, dude, dope.
Oh, they're
Like
they're awesome.
first album's hardcore, second album, Sleeping Eye, is like this metal epic, like crazy thing. It's like completely they transform their sound, but I could talk about it forever, but yeah, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So from the first EPs to this full length that you're about to release, uh, how would you say you guys have evolved musically?
We started more of like a hardcore sound. We didn't really have a lot of that intricate like right hand picking involved, mainly because I couldn't do it that well at the time, just because I wasn't really well versed in that. Just like a lot of the triplets and stuff like that, I kind of avoided to do that because in all the other bands I played with, or I played in, didn't really require any of that. So, moving more towards of a thrash sound, as we went to our second recording, uh, we decided to add more like chugs, more intricate parts, and just decided to go more of a thrash metal direction rather than a hardcore direction. But still, uh, trying to blend in our influences into everything. But it took like one record to decide like, hey, this is what we're sounding like, and we
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah, no, and it's a heavy record but fun, and I could tell like the hardcore influences, and there's some fractional riffing to it, which I thought was pretty good. So you have three singles that you have released so far. The latest being "Pain Dweller." Uh,
Yeah.
Pretty good. Tell us a little bit about the background for "Pain Dweller."
Yeah, for us, like, we wanted to do like the most like thrash sounding song that we can make, because like I feel like a lot of our songs, like they sound very different from each other, like I feel like every song like has its like own like unique thing. And we wanted to make like an anthemy type of sounds. Like I like if we ever play like a big place, I want people like singing back to us like the main parts and like have it be like more the most I don't think straightforward is the right word, but I'm gonna use it. It's it's honestly it's crazy that that's our longest song too. Like it's and that's 4 minutes. It being like right 4 minutes is the longest song and but like what that song's about is about like a you know like there's another song like another single that I released was like Never Known Peace and like that one's about like me being on like my lowest point and like not wanting to continue on. But Pain Dweller is like that same topic, but like, standing up, from the struggle, like, like when, be like knowing that like you exist within like your mistakes and like, like your own like, internal turmoil, but
Hmm.
like owning up to it and like realizing that you aren't, the shit you did, like like it's the things that we choose to do every day and like move on and grow from. And like I feel like with this band and with this record I wanted to write about a lot of different things, but I also wanted to be like vulnerable. I don't want to be like a metal band that like isn't afraid to talk about like what we all go through. Like I feel like just like it's cool to talk about like slaying demons and like serial killers and shit like that, but like I also want it to be like like if someone listens to this, like the best thing that I could ever hope for, like someone listens to that song and like, hey, like I like this makes me feel better knowing that like I'm not alone and feeling this way.
Yeah, no, makes total sense because a typical Tuesday is not going out and slaying dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you and and Ryan both do some of the. So Ryan told right, you were saying that you work mostly on the music, but do you also collaborate on like the lyrics?
Oh no, no, not at all. I don't. I'm not a wordsmith. I only know how to make things sound good to the best of my ability. Um, all the songwriting or a lot of the lyric writing, and vocal structure is just all Charlie, 100%.
But I'm guessing you guys work first on the music, and then Charlie listens to it and comes up with the vocal melodies and
Yeah.
I.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. I pretty much record a demo track and then send it over to Charlie, and then he writes to the track, and then we start recording demo vocals, and then from that point on, depending on how, because I don't know how he's gonna do it. I have no idea. I'm coming in blind, and once he lays down whatever he lays down, I pretty much just rewrite riffs to work around those vocals to fill in those like dead spots if there are any, or like just try to fill in the empty voids just to make the song sound a little bit more full, a little bit more dense.
Okay. So Carlos, doing like more like lyrics that are focused on like real pain and real stuff. What was it more difficult for you to write this way, or do you think it's a great way, like to maybe like sound like maybe stand out and be vulnerable? And I also, when I listen to this record, even though it's hard hitting, it feels like there's some hopefulness to your lyrics in some parts, even though it's
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Like I want to write like every song have it like its own like topic, like going from like personal struggles to like just writing about a badass like cowboy, you know, or like talking about like some guy that was raised from the dead and is now enacting like his vengeance upon like the whole world, and like I feel like that's the cool thing about thrash, like you can write about anything you want as long as you make it sound good and amazing. Like people, I mean, I hope people will like it, and like because I feel like thrash is one of those genres like where it's like you can be like that kind of like a chameleon. You just do whatever you want, like and have it still be like badass.
Yeah, plus the crossover hardcore appeal to it.
100%.
Yeah, so you mentioned obviously one influence, but uh, at least is there any other like music like for you, Carlos? Like, and then I'll talk to Ryan. Like, in terms of like your singing style, like, is there any other vocalists in any other bands that maybe inspired you?
Yeah, like that, like just it's like super like to the point, like obvious ones. Like I love like Metallica a lot. I love Slayer a lot. So James Hetfield, Tamaraya, like like the styles that they do, like I can't help but not do stuff like that because like it's like what I love the most, and like a lot of the songs, like I like want to like take like things that they do, but like put like my own spin on it, and like pretty much like those three bands and Sepultura, like those are like the four bands like that pretty much like is the direction that we wanted to go in, like with like everything that we like instrumentally, vocally, like lyrically. Like I'm pretty sure like Ryan is gonna like have like the same answer as me too. Is like those are like big four, like when it comes to like writing for Doomsday.
Plus Ryan, honorary Calavera.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what about you, Ryan? Would you agree with Carlos?
Oh, 100%. We're pretty much on the same page with this band on every note. So like Slayer, Metallica, like those are like Iron Age. That's like the Holy Trinity for us. And with Sepultura being the Holy Spirit,
Yeah.
uh, like it's kind of it's really hard to like kind of choose an influence because there's so much. The way I write things in my head is like I have the whole song in my head already. I don't really channel a certain influence, but you can tell in bits of like the riffs and like in bits of sections, maybe drum parts, that some of that subconsciously leaks through. But if I were to listen to it, I'd be like, that's a Slayer riff, or that's a Slayer inspired riff, or
Hmm.
that's a Metallica riff, or that's a Sepultura riff. Um, but yeah, no, we're on the same page with a lot of our influences as far as this particular band goes, um, which is why we're able to like write stuff so easily and have put out the best thing we can, um, that we're both really proud of.
Yeah, it's a great record. Like I really enjoyed it, and I think it for someone who likes crossover thrash, like that old school stuff with modern production, they will enjoy it. So the name Doomsday, what's the inspiration for that? Hopefully, not the Superman villain, right?
No, no, like
Uh,
honestly, like I get scared we're gonna get an email like saying like, yo, like y'all gotta quit it, dude. Like, y'all gotta stop. Like, but like when it comes to like the name, I feel like that was like the kind of like the least important part of starting the band. Like we wanted to name the band like Twisted Faith, like which is like an Iron Age song. And like I was like as I think I remember like I was at Ryan's place at the time. He was just writing and like I was just scrolling like, hey, like here's a bunch of band names that other bands haven't used in a long time. Like Doomsday sounds cool. And he's like, yeah, let's go. Like so it wasn't like anything crazy, like, but like it's really cool, like knowing that so many other bands named Doomsday like have come and gone, and like I feel like like we hella stuck with like that band is like that name. Like I feel like I want it to I want to get to the point like when people say Doomsday as a band, like there's can only be one, you know? Like
Yeah.
there's only one.
Well, if you ever change the name, you could be named Doomsday Puñeta.
Doomsday Puñeta.
I'm sure no one's gonna be named that.
Oh yeah, no,
No.
like I feel
Yeah. Yeah, because yeah, that's the thing with names. I think I've talked with bands before that sometimes I feel like there's going to be a time where we're gonna run out of band of names. Like,
no, like 100%. Like I know like a couple bands that have to put like like there's this band called Big Ass Truck, right? And apparently there was another Big Ass Truck somewhere, so they had to put Big Ass Truck IE, which is Inland Empire, so that's where they're from. So like they don't get sued like this other band Kublai Khan, so they have to put TX for Texas so they don't get sued. So like I really hope I don't have to like do Doomsday Enye. Like
no,
like like
I already the new name, Doomsday Nieta.
Doomsday Nieva, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but I remember also even mainstream bands like Ghost had to do
Yeah,
Yep.
they had to like do something which yeah, it's like you just run out of like you run out of names sometime because
hmm
so many band names like
especially in metal. Like,
Yeah.
especially in metal. Uh, so yeah, you mentioned the song about and that's the song about the outlaw, which is
yeah,
like track. That's the one about the outlaw, like coming, reviving from the dead, and going to kill people. That's very Red Dead Redemption.
that's pretty much yeah. Like I was playing Red Dead Redemption 2 at the time, and like I was like, man, like this would be a dope song. And then Ryan sends me the track. I'm like, yeah, this is about Red Dead. Like it's like it was just straight like that. I do that a lot. Like I do that a lot with like manga and like Dark Souls and like Elden Ring and stuff like it's really easy to take inspiration like from stuff like that because like it's like narratives you like I always like am creating like narratives and stories in my head like when I'm playing like those kind of games and like I'm like that like wait, I had this one like one of the first songs we wrote like called Depths of the Abyss, and that one's like about like these like scientists, cave dweller, explorers, whatever. They go in a cave and they just keep going deeper and deeper and deeper, and like they get to a point where they unleash this eldritch horror upon the world, which to me, I like I came up with because I was just playing Dark Souls. Like, oh, this would be dope, you know? And like, it's just I owe everything. I owe all my ideas to like just video games and anime.
I didn't play the second Red Dead Redemption. I just played the first one. Uh,
Dude, the second one's it's good. I thought I wasn't gonna like it. The second one's it's so good. It's crazy.
I love the first one. It's one of my
It's so
favorite
good.
video games ever, and I love the story and the ending. I played it. I like playing the story. I tried playing. This is a funny story. I tried playing the online version.
Yeah.
Since I didn't have money online, like when you're like first level, they give you like a donkey. So I spawn and I'm a donkey, and there's this dude playing online, and he's on a hill and he's shooting me, and I hear people laughing. Oh, look at that dork with the donkey! And I'm like, like after that, I'm like, fuck online gaming. I
You got traumatized.
in, in, I don't want to be bullied in the internet. Like who knows if it's like a 12-year-old shooting my donkey?
Exactly.
And I'm like, fuck this. I'm never playing online story. But yeah, that's a good one. I also had did you ever play the zombie version of that game?
Oh yeah, Undead Nightmare. It's so good.
Yeah,
So good.
yeah. That was a really good game. But yeah, I haven't played games in a while. But that's cool that you can play video games and help you like use that creative.
Hmm.
What about you, Ryan? Are you into gaming?
Back in high school, I used to play a lot of Call of Duty, but not so much anymore. Um, but like circling back to like the lyrics and stuff like that, like I just always want to point this out. Like I tell Charlie this all the time. Like the way he writes lyrics is like one of the best like written things I've ever seen sometimes or ever heard. Um, he tends to. I mean, I don't know if it's intentional or not, but he tends to tell like a story through some of the stuff. And it for me it paints like a vivid picture when I read these things because the words are like crafted in a way that I wouldn't imagine to do so. Um, so I always give him tons of credit about that. Like he's one of the best songwriters I know. So um, yeah.
I got the PDF. With the promo. I got the PDF of the lyrics. And usually with crossover Thrash, sometimes there's some bands that the lyrics are minimal. But I saw like, dude, you had like like big. There were 4 pages for lyrics, like 10 tracks on the record.
Yeah, 10 tracks.
So
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I'm like, yeah, this dude writes like pretty long stuff, and for example, even for the out in it, but you get a lot of out there on that track, like the like rapid vocal delivery for that one. So yeah, let me show the artwork of the record, which is pretty cool. Uh, Also, what's the record label that's releasing this? Because I can't remember right now at the top of
Yeah.
my.
Creator Destructor Records.
Yeah, well, that's a good name for a record label. So here we have the Doomsday Never piece, and yeah, this is a cool artwork. I don't know why it reminds me of some Indiana Jones stuff.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
I can see why. Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about like what you guys were going for with the artwork, and obviously who did the artwork.
Yeah, so the artist is Spencer Davey. He's from Oakland, which was really cool because like I was like spending a lot of time trying to find like the right artist, and I was just going like through Instagram, like just pretty much everywhere, and like his just one of his like paintings like popped up on my feed randomly, and like, oh, this is like dope because like I wanted like an art style similar to like a South of Heaven by Slayer. That's like to me like the most iconic album cover like of all time, and I wanted something like that. And like when I saw that, like, oh, he has like the correct palette, the correct like brush strokes, like just everything that I was looking for. And like it was really cool like finding out that he's also from the Bay, because it's like, oh man, this is like that's like the bow that put everything on top of it of everything, is like it's just like a local effort. Like the label is like from the Bay, like, everything is like to us for like Bay Area, California, like hardcore. So, but when I asked them about like what I wanted, I was very like adamant about like wanting it to be like, I want it to be like South of Heaven. I want it to be abstract, like with this color palette, this, and that. And he's like, okay. He sends me the sketch, and it's like not what I was expecting like at all, but I loved his idea so much because it was like, why am I so like bent on like trying to like mimic another band when this looks exactly like what we sound like, you know? And like I like trusted like his vision, and like when I got the final painting, I was like, holy shit, dude! This is this record. This is Never Knowing Peace. Like some dude getting raised from the dead and raising a whole ass army like throughout the whole world and shit. Like this is what this embodies for like that song title. So like I dude, he's insane. Shout out Spencer.
I love Slayer, but I think this album cover is pretty kick-ass.
Oh, dude, it's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. It's and I like it that you say that it's made by someone from the Bay, from the
Mhm.
just like Ryan.
Exactly. Allegedly. He's allegedly from
So some guy from the Bay.
sure you can trust him.
So no, the work is pretty cool, and I think like you said, it embodies the music, and it's good that I like that there's younger bands like yourself that you give a shit about like having cool artwork because
Oh
uh,
yeah.
some bands, but there's some bands that are I've talked to bands who they're pretty cool music, but then they go with the AI route and stuff like that. And I don't know. I think we should keep doing like art by people.
100%. I mean, like, why are you putting so much effort into every other aspect of your band, but like you don't want to like go that extra mile and have something that like embodies you, like your music, your vision, and like that's equally as important because like that's the first thing people sometimes see, you know. It's not even the music, it's like, you know, your artwork. So it's like they like you need something as striking as like, you know, like what you want people to listen to. So it's like I like when it comes to AI art, it's like a whole thing, and it's like I don't fuck with it. It's not like you wouldn't be lazy writing your songs, right? So like why are you going like the easy way, you know?
Yeah. And the first thing when I got the promo for your band, the first thing I saw was the artwork. And I said, I want to listen to it.
Exactly.
I listen to it, and if they suck, at least their album.
At least our album covers
Yeah, but
pretty good.
I, I'm thinking if a band takes pride in doing like an awesome album artwork, their music has to be good. Because it's a cool album artwork, and yeah, it really embodies like the sound of this record. For you guys right now, do you have like a favorite track from the record? And I know like Carlos and Ryan can have like different picks.
Yeah, I'm gonna let Ryan go first on this.
I I I teeter totter between Remnants of Spite and Everyday War. Those are my two favorites. It depends on the day of the week, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. Like for me, like when I listened back to the whole album, like man, all the like we had a hard time actually trying to pick out singles because like we thought every song was like so dope. And but I'm gonna go with my favorite right now is Everyday War, just because I struggled. That was the song I struggled the most to write lyrics for. And like when it finally came about, I was like super proud of like what we came up with because it was like that song like to me is like not something it wasn't something that we like normally like the way that like we write music, that's like one of the ways we don't normally write. And like that was like a struggle because it was like I need to like pretty much change like how like my brain works when it comes to like writing shit because like this isn't, I'm not used to this. So like Everyday War for sure. That is my favorite track right now.
What was different about writing that song in particular?
Like
Uh, yeah.
yeah, like Brian like he when he was writing that track, he we wanted to go more into that Sepultura like type sound, and like the way that like they write lyrics is like very in your face, short, to the point, and like I like writing like a lot of stuff. So like I'm not used to like doing like short bursts that like actually hit, that actually like like carry weight. I don't want to just say words to fill in like a space. Like I want every word to like go with the song. So like while I was writing this, like, man, bro, like you do a little something, throw a little something my way I'm used to. Like, what the fuck's going on? Like,
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, like, it's definitely our biggest departure from how we normally write stuff, as Charlie
yeah,
said, and it was also almost cut from the record just because we were just gonna be like, fuck it, like,
yeah.
we
It took me
can't
like two
can't
or three
yeah
months,
yeah
like to come up
it
with lyrics.
like literally the entire record was already ready essentially, and we were just waiting on that. But I'm really happy with how it turned out and just all the extra bells and whistles that we put on there. It made the song come to life, and I'm really really happy. And surprisingly, it's both of our favorite songs on the record.
see, if you would have done that, it was good to you got yourself out of like a comfort zone and you experimented on that track. So talking about the recording process, like how long did that process take for this record?
uh so I do a lot of I track a lot of the stuff at my house. I have my own setup. I track the guitar DIs, bass DIs. The only things we record in the studio are drums, which we recorded with Zach Oren at Shark by Studios. And for the vocals, we recorded it with our buddy Andrew Lee from Rip the Shreds. He helped us with the vocal recordings. Um, but as far as the recording process goes, a lot of the timeline was mainly just writing. We took our time with writing this record. So trying to get it as close to done as possible. So when we hand it over to Zach, all he has to do is just hit record. We are in there, we're out of there. We wait until he mixes the stuff, and then we just bounce ideas back. And we get what we get. And we're really happy with what he put out for us. It sounds it. I feel like it encapsulates like our live sound as to a track as best as we can. Just the
Yeah,
energy, the
yeah. That was one of the
delivery.
biggest things we're
Yeah.
trying to do.
hmm And yeah, it was just a very smooth process. I I don't like to have any issues in the recording process just because it's a lot of it relies on me. So
No, that I think that's a smart thing to do because also recording stuff in a studio is expensive. So you want to
Mhm.
go there, get it out, and not like have it ready. So, but yeah, like yeah, it sounds really cool and well, that's good that you can do your stuff at home and pre-record and have that. It's pretty like an old school mentality of those what the bands in the '90s used to do.
Huh.
At least, yeah, that's what I think. So, yeah, so you guys, the album's out on the 28th of March, and you guys, I think, have some shows in April, right?
Yeah, we have like a 4-day run with our boys in Iron Front. They're also on Creative Destructor Records. It's gonna start in Oxnard on April 10th. We're gonna be playing
I
with oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, Oxnard. We're gonna play playing with High Command on that day. That band is super dope. I can't wait for that one. Then we're going to SAC, then Fresno, which is that's gonna be with our friends in the test stream, like dope metalcore stuff, and then a record release show in SF with like so many dope bands. Like I can't believe how dope that last show is gonna be. And then we got a couple more shows lined up too. We're trying to plan out a Texas run sometime in May or June. But we'll see. Like
Mhm.
we got a lot of stuff lined up. Like I definitely want to come home and play Puerto Rico. Like I don't know, it's that's like the one thing like I'm like so unsure about moving away because like at least by the time when I was like growing up, I wasn't aware of too much of like a metal scene. Like I left like when I was like I think when I just turned 18, like or like halfway there. So
Yeah.
like it'd be dope to know what it's like now.
Oh, there's a great metal scene here in Puerto Rico. We have all types of bands, and there's a lot of like bands that are bringing bands. So yeah, no. So you can hit me. There's some cool bands. So and we've had some metal musicians here that I think there's a on Devil Drive. The Devil Driver's drummer is from Puerto Rico too, and
Okay.
so yeah, and obviously Hosian in Fit for Us, you know, yeah. So you left. When did you left Puerto Rico? Like in the beginning, in the 2000s?
Yeah, like I think like I did like a year in La Yupi. I didn't want to like I was like trying to become like a teacher, but I just signed up for it because like I don't know what the fuck I want to do. And then after that, I just dropped out and I was like, I'm going to California. Like there's I especially at least at the time I remember like things were kind of bad around that time and like it just felt like I had no direction, like or like any like there's no point in staying here if I can't like find what I like. So like moving to California, I wasn't expecting anything out of it. And like I started working at this coffee shop and like that's pretty much how I got introduced to like the hardcore scene in the Bay. Cause like there's like a few dudes like going to shows and I'm like, yo, you wanna come? I'm like, sure. And it's really crazy that like just that moment like is like I look back on it now and like I'm here like releasing like, you know, like my first album with like people that I consider like my friends and brothers for life. It's like it's crazy. Like life is crazy, you know.
Yeah, but yeah, no, like you'll be if you guys can play Puerto Rico sometime. Yeah, there's a cool metal scene here. It's not only bad boy. We have metal. Yeah, I can like offline. You can I can send you some names so you can
Oh yeah.
from here. But yeah, so yeah, it's cool. So you guys have some shows in April, and then you have more plans
Hmm.
your way. So yeah, I enjoy the record, and you know, I think if you like hardcore, you like thrash, I think you will enjoy this. So uh, so Ryan, and you know, before I let you guys go, anything that you like to say to the fans before we go?
Um, I mean, just hopefully you guys enjoy the record. Me and Charlie and the rest of the guys, I believe that we have the best team with us, performing these songs and writing these songs. And I mean, not only that they're great musicians, but they're also really, really, really good friends, and I consider them my family. Um, especially Charlie over here. But yeah, hopefully the record kicks ass. I think it does. Hopefully the rest of the guys do. Um, but yeah, I mean that's what I have. Hopefully you guys enjoy it.
Yeah. What about you, Carlos?
You know, for coming to your city, you know, come out. You know, let's melt your faces and you know, listen to Iron Age. That's all I got.
Yeah,
Oh
and
yeah.
I think Carlos, when you start the show up in the pit, you gotta scream puñeta.
Oh.
Oh, dude, that's the first thing I want to do when I go to like, if we ever play Puerto Rico, I want to make it like the most like, I want to talk like the most American as possible, and I like just drop it out of nowhere.
Yeah, or like no, no, cool. So Couchers, yeah, the album for Doomsday, Never Known Peace is out on March the 28th. So soon. So yeah, it's a cool record and like a newer band. So uh, like where out before we go, like where can they pre-order it?
Yeah, just go to creatordestructor.com or y'all can go to our Bandcamp. Uh, y'all can follow us on doomsday.ca. All the links are there on our Instagram. Uh, Or if you're in somehow in the United Kingdom, go to Devil Dog Distro. Uh, Also, if you want tapes, Barbaric Brutality. Uh, we got tapes from there, like dope ass label. But yeah.
Yeah, so if you're across the pond in England, then that's where you get it. So yeah, guys, I want to thank you from meeting, taking time of your evening to talk with me from California here to Puerto Rico. I had fun talking with you guys. You're cool, down to earth dudes who like metal and video games.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, what else is there? So until next time, couchers, this is Hector, the Shield Dude on a Couch, and I'll see you all right here on the couch. Thank you and goodbye.